All right, India, Jessica Taneja joins us for more updates on this. Hi, Jessica. The US president is talking about a Naval Armada moving towards the Gulf. Pressure tactics or preparation for possible military action?
Well, the Armada also, which is touted as right now the USS Abraham Lincoln, along with other vessels and fighter aircraft that are now moving towards the West Asian waters. Earlier, they were in South China Sea. Now, that diversion of sorts had been in place months in advance, and nothing new in that announcement coming in from the United States President Donald Trump. But with the assurances that the American government had received from the Iranian side about halting, punishing those protesters or flogging them or various kinds of punishments that were in the fray for them will now not be meted out. And apart from that, assurances were also made that the protest crackdown, as well as people being executed, will be now coming with guarantees. To that effect, we've heard the American president sort of hold back on his threats, so to say, when it comes to another possible military intervention in Iran, which you recall took place last time in June 2025, where you saw B-2 bombers that had targeted Iranian nuclear facilities. However, this time, Donald Trump seems to reassert that claim that in case Iran begins to work towards its nuclear ambitions, America will not have second thoughts in striking the Iranian facilities again. So that rhetoric is also playing alongside, of course, what you saw during the protests in Tehran, the Grand Bazaar, where the protests started because of economic woes, where now the Iranian rial, which was 1.4 million rial against the dollar, so possibility of handing out $7 a month two packages to the Iranians was also floated around, but we don't know what happened to that. We will have to look at the reports to sort of assess. There is also an internet blockade in Iran, so things are a bit tricky in terms of information, Abhishek. But when you look at from the American president's perspective, it's a lot to do with also the Iranians not holding back on their options of using all kinds of force when it comes to their own survival or their own existential crisis.
Also, Jessica, I mean, given the recent US involvement alongside Israel, how fragile is the current situation?
Well, the West Asia crisis has prevailed for a longer time than possible. You have the Board of Peace discussions, which also received a very different response. There were people in the Board of Peace, and there were not many influential countries which were part of Board of Peace. Others maintaining a caution to not have an alternate to the United Nations framework, but also keeping in mind that how important is peace right now in West Asia, and also the efforts to rebuild Gaza, where all the countries need to be focusing on. A lot of attention has been on Greenland, and rightly so. But at the same time, it is also Gaza, which is desperately seeking help, aid, etc., to sort of, and also waiting for all the major players in the region not to just come to their rescue, but respond to basic humanitarian crisis there and start working upon actual peace.
Yeah, all right, Jessica, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for your inputs.